If you want to know about dragons, really know about them, in the game of D&D, there is only one definitive source, the Draconomicon. Welcome back to Dragon Week here on Green and Gold Gaming. Monster Week is an annual community event created and organized by Pointy Hat and Jenny D to bring together TTRPG creators on YouTube, and this year's theme is dragons. I'm Renegade Paladin, the primary narrator and editor here at Green and Gold Gaming, and this afternoon we're discussing blue dragons. Blue dragons are extremely territorial and proud. They make their homes in sandy deserts and drive off all competitors, including other monsters and especially brass dragons. Lawful and arrogant in the extreme, blue dragons despise their brass cousins for their frivolous ways and tendency to flee from battle. They make their lairs in underground caverns. The bigger and more grand the cave, the better. Blue dragons prefer caves that open at the base of desert cliffs where the sand accumulates, as they simply burrow through the sand to reach their lairs. Since they are so good at tunneling, they rarely bother to keep their lair entrances clear, and indeed often deliberately bury them. The most distinctive feature of a blue dragon is a single massive horn that protrudes forward from the dragon's relatively short head, the base of which takes up most of their pate. Hornlets line the dragon's brows, running from the nostrils back along the entire length of the head. A cluster of blade-like scales juts down from the dragon's short chin, and hornlets protrude from the jowls. Blue dragons have no lips, and most of the teeth protrude from the closed mouth. Static electricity tends to crackle from the dragon's hide, increasing when the creature is angered, hinting at the nature of its breath weapon, an enormous gout of lightning. A humming, arcing buildup occurs around the dragon's hornlets as it prepares to discharge, providing some amount of warning before the enormous thunderclap that accompanies a lightning bolt issuing forth from its mouth. In flight, a blue dragon is easily distinguishable from the brass dragons that share their habitat thanks to its dapple-patterned, bat-like wings. A blue dragon's alar phalanges are all the same length, giving the wing a rounded look. The wings insert mid-torso well ahead of the hind legs. A blue dragon will often be spotted in flight, as they love to soar through the desert air, though some nearly match the color of the sky and can be difficult to see from the ground. This is not the case when the dragon is not flying. Their bright blue coloration makes them easy to see against the backdrop of the barren desert. When they wish to hide, blue dragons will burrow into the sand with only the tops of their heads exposed, where their protruding horns appear to be jagged rocks from a distance. Like most dragons, blues will hoard anything that looks valuable, but they favor gems, particularly blue sapphires, since they deem their own color the most beautiful. Blue dragons are nearly exclusive carnivores, their favored prey being herd animals like horses or camels, which they cook with their lightning breath, making them a major threat to desert caravans, which they see as a one-stop shop for treasure and a meal. Blue dragons have a hierarchical society, with themselves at the top, obviously, with the oldest local blue exercising lordship over nearby younger dragons, from whom they receive homage and resolve disputes, particularly territorial ones. Technically, any blue dragon can challenge the suzerain for rulership, but an unhappy dragon will more frequently simply move elsewhere than risk a fight with an older and larger superior. In keeping with their desire for order, blue dragons have elaborate courtship and mating rituals that require the exchanges of goods, the consent of the suzerain, and announcements of the engagement to their fellows. They make attentive parents, and a blue dragon nest will almost never be unattended. When a blue dragon attacks, they favor striking from the sky or waiting in ambush burrowed beneath the dunes. Older dragons have innate magic, such as hallucinatory terrain, to mask their locations and make ambush tactics more likely to succeed. And when their prey is intelligent, they employ their uncanny skills at ventriloquism and mimicry to confuse and divide before attacking. Blue dragons view retreat as cowardly and only flee from battle when severely injured. Thus concludes our feature on blue dragons for Dragon Week. Be sure to check out the Dragon Week features from other creators as well. A link to today's playlist will be in the description and the cards. If you enjoy our content, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you later in the week for more discussion of dragons.